Hello, this is Joe Pryor, the virtual real estate team in Oklahoma, where we specialize in new residential construction for investors in the Oklahoma City and Tulsa markets. I get a question of, okay, I love what you've said about Oklahoma City and what you've said about Tulsa. Yeah, these look like markets I need to really be in. Now, where do we go from there? It's a very, very important question, and that depends on two things. First of all, depends on which market we go into, which suburb or which area that we go into. And number two, it depends on within those neighborhoods, what else we do. In other words, how do I find the right location in this? How do you make these choices for me? So let me kind of go over the process. We're going to get together on Zoom meetings, maybe one, maybe two, whatever, so we can line out what your expectations are, what you have in terms of your financial position, what makes most sense to you, what price range. You're going to be asking me, do I do a 3-bedroom, a 4-bedroom? Do I do this? Do I do that? And normally what we're going to do, if you've never invested in the market before, this is going to be the most conservative investment you've ever made. And what that means is we're going to go into that core area of Oklahoma City. Now realize Oklahoma City is 615 square miles. So we still want to be in the metro area where you're connected, maybe 20 minutes from downtown Oklahoma City, which is the center point of what we do. In other words, that is, everything is like spokes going out from there. And so we're going to look at that. We're going to make sure that, this is something that, okay, what is the most conservative investment I can offer you? So it's going to be in the interior, all right? But it's going to be in great school systems, because that is a crucial factor in terms of making sure that home stays rented, that vacancy is minimized, and that there is amenities around it not too far away so that your drive times are not that great. So we're going to look at that. Now, if you're somebody that's an experienced investor and you're going, okay, I've invested in Piedmont or invested in Norman or whatever it happens to be, what else do you got? Well, we may look a little outside the city. We may look for some growth areas that are really building up very, very rapidly. We see the schools being, built with new schools, new high schools, whatever. We're going to go, okay, let's look at this just a little bit, because there's a little bit more risk involved, but you've got solid cash flow on 3, 4, 5 properties. I think there's a growth market here that you need to look at. We're going to look at that. Now, another thing that we look at is the percentage of owner occupancy. So in other words, I've got one market in greater Oklahoma City area that's attached to the main part of Oklahoma City, this one suburb, that 77% of the people that live there own their properties. That's fantastic. 62 to 64% is pretty much the national average. Or if I can find something that is 75% or 70%, these are the things that I'm looking for, because I want those owner occupants to drive appreciation for you, because that's huge for you if you're holding this for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. The more appreciation we have, combined with positive cash flow, the better return on investment that you have. We're going to look within the neighborhoods and look at the locations that make the most amount of sense. I've done a video about where we don't invest in terms of your investment. We don't do T-lots. We don't do the front of the neighborhood. We'll go through all of that with you. So in other words, what I'm talking about is we're going to talk to you and tell you where we think you want to go, but we're going to bring the facts in. We're going to bring the property manager in for a conversation with you so that you have the confidence in making the right choice. We've done this for almost 37 years. People keep coming back for more. We must be doing something right. We will make sure that you feel that. We want to make sure that first investment of yours is an outstanding one that makes you want to come back and buy another.